All right, guys, so this is gonna be our first Bright Spot Friday for the gym. So in the announcement group we post, everyone gives their own individual bright spots from the week. 1, 2, 3, 4 things that stood out to you that we started it because it's a good way to highlight all the good things that are going on in our lives. It's really easy to sometimes focus on the things we're struggling with or to get caught up in negative things that are happening in the world and to forget like all that we have that is good. And that was a good way for a lot of us to sit down on a Friday morning or afternoon and write down those things that are like, wow, my life is way better than I sometimes remember it is. So we wanted to point out some bright spots from the gym from this week, and kind of going off of the same vein, just a lot of the good things we saw happen in the gym. And so I'm just gonna list off a few bright spots from the week, and we'll go from there. If you remember any bright spots yourself that you experienced in the gym, or you felt like you saw happen for someone else, whether it was the first time they did a rope climb, or you're like, look, I come in here every day at noon and Tom Murphy's always crushing. Whatever it is, leave that in the comments, just shout people out. So today, have a list of a few people. First one would be Sharon Bennett from the 530. Sharon has really come a long way in challenging herself with weights and stuff, and she had an injury in her shoulder and around her neck, and that definitely made her a little hesitant to push herself, but Rob was telling us that this week she was really crushing some weight and pushing herself without him having to push her, and that's awesome. Like we always talk about finding the balance where you can move well and move safely, but also you can experience change and force your body to grow and adapt to that. Next person would be kind of, how do I describe her? She likes to come in to class maybe a few minutes late, give me a hard time, but at the end of the day, Anne-Marie Wheeler has made huge progress with her fitness. She works around injuries, works around restrictions all the time, always comes in, great energy in class. And I believe it was last week, but I still want to highlight it because it's huge. She ran her mile in 13:37. Said the first time she's ran a mile since high school. She's been with us for about a year and a half now. Come so far since starting. She could barely do a squat to a 30-inch box. Now she's doing lunges with weights. As much as she might despise them, she's still crushing it. And it's a huge mental barrier to be able to break through on that mile. So now I know I have to set expectations even higher and push her a little harder when it comes to the running. Next person with a mile as well, and this comes from Monday's workout, is JD. JD ran an 8:40 mile. He was a little hesitant. He's like, I think I'm gonna try to run the mile. Hopefully I get back in time. And he was like shocked when he came back in. He was like, is that really the time on the clock? He might have been dead for the rest of the workout, but sub 9-minute mile, that's huge. And JD always comes in, and he's like, his strength numbers have improved tremendously over the past few years. The barbell looks like a feather in his hands. So that's awesome to see he's getting stronger, and his aerobic abilities, his cardio has improved as well. Next person would be Cassie. Cassie did Fight Gone Bad, so that's a old CrossFit workout. For those of you who aren't familiar, it's 3 rounds, 1 minute wall balls, 1 minute sumo deadlift high pull, 1 minute box jump overs, 1 minute push press, 1 minute row, 1 minute rest, 3 rounds of that. And that workout gets tough, mentally tough, physically tough. And Cassie did it during open gym. She wasn't doing it with anyone else, so that adds another layer to it. And she took her score from 328 reps to 376 reps, which is not only a huge improvement, that's an awesome score as well. That's a top score for the girls. It's one of the top in the gym. For anyone, anywhere, that's an awesome score. Next person is Dante. Dante is one of those people right now where you're like, you want to be happy for him, but you're also like, holy crap, you're crushing it. What the heck? What am I doing? You look at him, you see him crushing, whether it's the 5K, whether it's thrusters, whether it's push press, whatever it might be, he's getting after it and just really crushing it these days. And we had an awesome conversation yesterday talking about how he can continue to ride the gains train. That's a little Nate Rapucci saying, ride the gains train. and it's cool just to see his enthusiasm and have him in here hitting the workouts every day and getting after it. Next one would be Nate. Nate and I took the noon class together. We were the only two in class. We did yesterday's workout, burpee box jump overs together, and Nate's always a blast to have in class, and it's cool to be able to work out with him, and he's just always someone who brings a lot of energy. You know that if you're coaching the 5:30 a.m., especially during the winter, during those dark hours, if you have Nate in class, it's going to be an interesting hour. It always, whenever I would see him walk into class, I'm like, all right, we're gonna have some good energy in class. So that was cool to be able to work out with Nate. We haven't worked out together in a while. Next would be Chauncey. Chauncey ran, I think he was sub 10-minute mile, which is awesome. That's a huge accomplishment for him. He's come a long way as well. He, just like JD, his strength has improved, his conditioning has improved, been more and more consistent in the gym over the past 4 to 5 months, and that's great to see the payoff. Then finally, Ed Berman comes in at 4:30, might give us hard times about stuff, might threaten to pull us over. Not saying he's actually threatening, just you know where I'm going with that. Doesn't like burpees. What else can I say about Ed? He's a closet gymnast, crushes L-sits. Guy should be doing muscle ups soon, and he destroyed the bench press on Wednesday. Although we were supposed to go for 6 reps, he hit 205 for 3 reps, which is like crazy compared to where he started. When Ed started with us, he started with us about 1.5 years ago as well. You know, he's struggling to deadlift an empty barbell. Weights were secondary consideration, and he's made huge progress, and it's just awesome to see that over the course of time, seeing people stick with it, you know, go through those peaks and valleys, and just see things trend upward. So that's our first official bright spots for the gym. Our goal is to do this every Friday, just like we do our regular bright spots as individuals. So if you notice something during the week, be sure to make sure you shout someone out on this post and in future posts, or tell a coach like, hey, look, so-and-so is just absolutely destroying the workouts these days. Make sure we're giving them a shout out, because they definitely deserve it. They're working hard. So that's that, and awesome. First one in the books.